Hello everyone, welcome to the War Zone. I'm Scruffy and this is Scruffy Tales. And I figured why not make a video about this, as it appears as if all four Nordic countries are in agreement that they should move away from their current CV90 versions in order to, with a joint effort, procure a brand new CV90 that will be used by all Nordic armies. Let's take a look. Right, so let's see here. Tim Martin is writing a piece here for Breaking Defense. And what does he say here? Four Nordic nations in talks for joint procurement of infantry fighting vehicles. And here we have a major general within the Swedish army. We're aiming for cross-development, cross-buying, and cross-use, basically, because we need to align and ease up the supply chains and be able to sustain the vehicles. And what are we talking about? Well, it's Denmark, Finland, Norway, and Sweden are evaluating a joint procurement of a future infantry fighting vehicle. And if everything goes according to plan, this vehicle will be acquired in the 2030 to 2040 time frame. And it is, of course, more than likely a CV90 we're talking about, because all these nations, Sweden, Finland, Norway, Denmark, operate CV90s, their own versions of it. Sweden famously has the CV90-40, deployed to Ukraine, a highly advanced vehicle despite its age, and with some upgrades it is still one of the best infantry fighting vehicles on the planet. The Norwegians, they have, I believe the Norwegians have a 30mm. What do the Finns have? The Finns have a version of their own. I think it also has a 30mm. And the Danes have a powerful 35mm chain gun. That is now currently getting some upgrades to it as well, if I'm not mistaken. And, well, the Swedes have the 40mm, that powerful autocannon that can even defeat tanks with a flanking shot. But with all these different systems, different guns, different armor packages and what have you, it places individual demands on the armies and nations in question. But now when the entire Nordic region is in NATO, it makes sense for them all to get one vehicle that they can all use, so you can have the same spare parts, the same ammunition, and the same everything when it comes to logistics, maintenance, and supply issues when we're talking about these vehicles and the weapons in question. And we have here, for instance, Denmark committed to a acquisition of 115 CV90-35 Mark III Charlie versions of the CV90 family here. CV90-35 indicating the 35mm chain gun. And Norway operates a fleet of 104 CV90s with continuous modernizations as we're progressing. Here we have Sweden is currently in the process of acquiring the same type of vehicle Denmark fields to replace the CV90-40 vehicles donated to Ukraine. So, yeah, it does appear as if within 10 to 15 years we will see a joint project among the Nordic armies to field the same type of CV90. And we have the Mark IV version being pushed by Hägglunds and BAE to the international community with a very impressive turret, very impressive armor packages, and fielding anti-tank guided missiles. The French Acheron is available, probably the most advanced anti-tank missile available on the planet. So I'm thinking we are looking at the CV90 Mark IV being brought forward and into play here in a couple of years as this big main infantry fighting vehicle of the Nordic countries in the coming years. That would be my guess. That's about it. We'll see in a couple of years, I guess, if this actually comes into play at all, if all the Nordic countries and their armies can decide or cooperate to eventually field one and the same version of the CV90. Well, if we get that far, it will probably be a very impressive version of the CV90. And I guess it makes sense now that all the Nordic countries are members of NATO. It will ease up on maintenance, it will ease up on supplies and logistics to keep the vehicles operational. And very interesting, but I guess we're gonna have to wait a couple of years to see if anything actually comes of it. But that's all I have for you. I hope you found it interesting and that I'll see you in the next one. And well, see you around. Bye.